Well, the main focus is to look at the trade between the two continents. Did the continent reach? Did the conference reach any agreements with regards to that?
Thank you very much for that question. Perhaps before I come to that question, I have just maybe to give a short background about this AU Africa Summit. Okay. Of course, it started way back in 2007, and the first one was held in Egypt that year. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, the second one was held in Lisbon, and the third one was held in Libya in 2010. So it means it's a kind of a continuation. Coming back to your question, whether they have reached a certain agreement or not, of course, this was just a 2-day summit. But of course, as you rightly pointed out, they come out with a very positive recommendation. Mm. Because the emphasis today is looking more on strengthening trade and investment. Because in the past, one have to understand that it's about North-South relations. Mm-hmm. And then the South is the developing country of the poor country, and mostly African countries are among the South. And the North is a European country who are rich countries. And normally it used to be a kind of a development cooperation where they give mm-hmm. some assistance to Africa.
Mm-hmm. Talking about this, of course, many critics have spoken out and said that we need a more of a partnership approach than Africa being given handouts or given aid or anything of that sort. And many saying that, look, the relationship between the EU and Africa has not been a really healthy one over the years. What are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, indeed, I would say yes, those views hold some water because, you know, this relationship between rich and one can say Africa is always termed as poor countries. Mm-hmm. And in that context, of course, this relationship could not be termed as equal as such. There has been always some kind of concern that, of course, the partnership is not at the equal level. Mm. Therefore, today there is quite a higher concern that, of course, this previous perception of unequal relations should be addressed, mm-hmm. And that's why this summit perhaps have also looked at those issues. Mm-hmm.
In terms of this, of course, the EPA, the signing of the EPA has always been high on the agenda for the last couple of years. Do you think this could perhaps bring them closer to that?
Yeah, one have to understand that this EPA is quite contentious issues. Mm-hmm. It has some of the, one have to look back that it started way back when it was put on the table in 2000. And understandably, by 1st of October this year, of course, the country were given a deadline that they have to sign. And so far, if one is following, is that only 4 countries in Africa have signed. Mm-hmm. But there is a huge pressure from the European to pressurize the other countries that have not signed to go into this, to sign this.